No one intervened.
Hello, listeners. Welcome back to Jacqui Just Chatters. I am so excited. Today I am talking with a very special guest. She is special not only because she is my dear friend, she also has one of the best senses of humor that I know. But as if that wasn't enough to make her fascinating, the lady is a real live hypnotist. Welcome to the show, Holly Amarande.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
I'm happy to be here.
I am super geeked that you have agreed to come and chat with me. Holly, why don't you begin by telling my listeners how we first met?
We met when we both went to Michigan State and were part of the...
Go Spartans!
and we were part of the APO service fraternity. So we've known each other a long time.
I did the math 27 years ago. This spring, like right now, 27 years ago, we met. Can you believe that?
Wow, that's crazy.
Our friendship is so old, it can not only legally drink, it can rent a car. I'm feeling a little old.
I know, me too.
Now, when we left our alma mater, you had a degree in advertising, right?
Yeah.
No, marketing.
It was actually advertising.
Okay.
Yeah.
Advertising. Okay.
Yeah.
So you 27, well, it actually was 27 years ago is when we met. So you get this degree in advertising. How the heck did you end up doing hypnosis? I mean, that's a journey. I'm betting that's a real story. So, like, how do you go from advertising to hypnotist?
Well, it's safe to say I never worked in advertising. At one point, I had a dream of, like, working in Chicago and being some creative ad exec, making commercials and stuff. But, no, I went home after college, met a man, and got married. And, here's my life. So there was no exciting advertising career that happened. I've worked in related fields. I've had lots of jobs that I didn't like. I have found some happiness in being self-employed. And I've owned a pet sitting and dog walking business for the last 7 years almost. And when COVID came and ruined our lives in 2020, I didn't think that business was going to survive. So I decided that I would add a skill, which was hypnosis. I took my hypnosis certification while I was not doing much business with my other one and decided to add it to my already existing health coaching and life coaching business because it just enhances those services.
Okay, so why hypnosis? Like, why that?
Well, there's a frustration in working with people who want to make changes because they really want to make them, yet they always stand in their own way, and that's the biggest thing. And sometimes
I can feel that.
Yeah, it's hard to talk your way out of that. If you've ever been in therapy, you know that it takes a while to feel differences and to make changes, and this kind of speeds things up, and it really gets to the core of the problem, which lies in your subconscious mind, not in your conscious mind, which is what makes your everyday decisions. Your conscious mind is where, you're like, well, I'm going to get in my car, I'm going to drive to McDonald's, I'm going to get a hamburger, and then I'm going to go home and sit on the toilet for a little while. But your unconscious or your subconscious mind is where all of your thoughts and beliefs and how you really feel about yourself and where you can actually make changes, they reside deeper down into the part of your mind that you don't deal with every day. You do, but you don't realize that you do. And that's the crazy part about hypnosis, and that's why it can be confusing. And people often think of hypnosis as like the stage hypnosis where people get up on stage and, the hypnotist makes them quack like a chicken or duck or what. Quick, chickens don't quack. But that's not what real hypnosis is.
That is a question I had. Like a lot of us, like the first time I ever saw a hypnotist was my senior all night party, which was a highlight of, like the kids running around and being all crazy. And I think a lot of people, that may be the only experience with a hypnotist they've ever had. So how exactly is what you do different, the entertainment hypnotist?
It's the same in that we're using the same processes to bypass your conscious mind so that we can speak directly to your subconscious mind. But it's different in that we're not doing it for entertainment purposes. We're not doing something that's meant to be temporary, which is what that stage hypnosis is. They may be like, for the next 10 minutes, this person's going to think that they are on vacation in Jamaica. And that can go on for 10 minutes, but we don't let that go on. With the hypnosis that I do.
I'm not sure I wouldn't mind a long-term
I know, right?
Of that. Like maybe sign me up for for the next month, you think you're on vacation.
Heck
and
yeah, why not?
Really? Would that be so terrible?
I know.
Can we extend that past 10 minutes? Is that a possibility?
That'd be awesome. No one gets stuck in hypnosis. That's the one thing people always have that question. You don't get stuck. You can come out of it whenever you want. My specialty is working with people that have fears and phobias, people with pain, people that want to quit smoking, people that want to lose weight. All those things that are really hard to do because we stand in our own way. And so we just hypnosis is being open to suggestion. And we go in and out of hypnosis all day. Have you ever been driving down the road and you're going somewhere and you might be talking on the phone or just listen to the radio and all of a sudden you pull into the parking lot of where you need to go and you have no idea how you got there. That's exactly hypnosis. You are hypnotized in a way when you're reading a book, when you're listening to a song, when you're listening to a podcast. So this It happens.
I had no idea.
Everybody can be hypnotized. Is that some people are more easily hypnotized than others because there are analytical people and non-analytical people. I would say about 85% of the population is non-analytical, which means that they can be relaxed into hypnosis. And that's what I'm going to do on this demo. It's the easiest way. It's the way that most people can get into the hypnotic state. Some people, like your really analytical people, like your engineer type people, the people that tear apart every little thing you say, they need to be hypnotized in a different way. And it's basically just a different technique where instead of relaxing you into hypnosis, we distract your conscious mind so that it gets out of the way and it's busy chattering, like the little British guard is chattering with your conscious mind. Hello, blah, 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 we're having fun, na, na, na. And then it leads the way so we can sneak around and we can get into your
I like that idea.
And you can
I often find, for me, when I'm having an issue, I need to distract myself. Distraction is the best way to deal with my problems. Oh, look, shiny object over here. Look at that instead of what's bothering you. Okay, so now you had mentioned a little bit earlier about your training. I know you've got, a master's in psychology. Am I getting that correct?
Yes, I have a master's in counseling psychology. I also have a health coaching certification as well as a life coaching certification.
The hypnosis really wasn't that much of a stretch. I mean, you were so much into mental wellness and mental health already.
Oh, yeah.
Again, a big deviation from your early advertising days. So how does one get certification in hypnosis? What does that mean? What is the training like?
There's different programs. I went through a program where we did it all virtually on Zoom. We practiced hypnotizing each other, went over the different principles, and there's a lot to learn. It goes beyond the whatever hypnotic program you end up in, you end up learning a lot on your own. So I've taken some additional classes, worked and followed additional mentors. It's just one of those things. If you really want to do it, you'll find people that do the style that you want, and you'll follow them, and you'll learn stuff that you don't learn in your initial certification. So I know how to do some quicker hypnosis inductions now that are more easily done in person than over Zoom, or I do most of my sessions virtually. So I don't see a whole lot of people, even though I do have an office in Grand Rapids, but I'm in it right now, but there's no one here. So people can see me in person, and I have done some of these things, but it's not the way I normally do it.
I thought this was sort of a timely topic, that there are a lot of people who make New Year's resolutions to make changes to their lives. And often starts to be the time when they begin to have problems with those early ideals that they set. And it seems to be like February, March is when they really start to fall off those wagon of, I'm going to do this. And then right about now, they're like, yeah, maybe not so much. And, I thought, well, maybe Holly could help them. And I guess that leads to my next question. Like, who is hypnosis for? Like, who would benefit from hypnosis?
Pretty much anyone who has something that they want to change that is not something that's easy to change on the conscious level. Like, I see people for all different things. We customize sessions. So I have seen people for something as simple as they are just in general stressed out and have anxiety. It helps by relaxing your mind, relaxing your body, so that you can get on with your life and not be stuck in that anxiety loop that we get stuck in. For anybody that has any fear or phobia, I have a lot of people that come to me that say that this is my last thing I'm trying. I've tried everything. It does have to do with our belief system. Our conscious mind is always the one that's doubting everything, and that's telling us we can't do stuff and tries to argue with you, where your subconscious mind doesn't do that. If you want to get to the root of the issue, hypnosis is great.
What can't it do? Like, what is hypnosis not for?
It won't cure or treat any problem. That's what I tell people. I get a lot of people that come to me that just have anxiety, have depression. They may have a mental health diagnosis. I make it very clear up front. It will not diagnose, treat, cure anything. It can help with some of those thoughts and beliefs that you're already having that are contributing to your problem, but they are not a cure. It is not a miracle. I've had people tell me that they want to reprogram their mind. It also doesn't do that.
Because like my thought is like, if you're bipolar,
yeah,
if you're manic depressive, it's not going to fix that. Like, that is a chemical imbalance. Hypnosis is not going to be able to fix that.
Yeah, no, it can't. It won't. And if people expect it to, I refer people out. I tell them, I can't help you with this. I do turn people away because I can't promise you something that's not going to happen. I'm not a doctor. I'm not somebody who can treat that condition. So now if you're really, really afraid of your stove because you're bipolar, we can work on the fear of the stove, but not your bipolar.
Good point. I can't really laugh too much about this. Like, hey, we've all got some weird little quirky phobias of just.
Oh, we do. Yeah. I talked to somebody the other day that had a fear of fish. Like, not just fish, like fish when she's in like a lake or a body of water, but not just
That's
that.
perfectly reasonable, just so you know.
It is.
There is nothing crazy about that. That makes perfect sense to me. And anyone who is that way, I think you're sane. I think you're 100% sane, and you are right to be there. I live on water, and that's how my lake has 0 fish in it, even though there's fish in it, but there's not fish in it.
Yeah, no.
Because
no
I can't have fish in there, because I'd never be able to get myself back in there. So I have to imagine there is absolutely no fish, even though these non-existent fish have occasionally bit me, but they do not exist. So your fear is real, and it's okay, and it's perfect. It's not crazy at all.
Yeah.
It's not even a fear. It's just, that's normal. That's perfectly normal behavior.
Well, you know what is so funny is that what you're saying right now, the fact that there are no fish, it's normal. You can go swim in that lake and not worry. That's what we would talk about in a hypnosis session if you were afraid of fish. We would be talking about how there are no fish and there's nothing to worry about.
I'm hypnotizing myself.
You are.
I'm ahead of the game. I'm a hypnotist savant. I'm just a natural.
I know.
How long does it take for hypnosis to start having an impact? So like if somebody has one of these sessions, like how quickly do they start getting a response to this?
Usually right away, right after the first session, but it is more effective if you do repeat sessions. So I sell my sessions in a package of 4 because one session is not enough. And I do record the sessions. So what people do is they will have their session, and they will listen to the recording between their next session. I recommend listening to recordings every single day, sometimes even more. And it depends on the severity of your problem. If you came to me because you were afraid of driving a car, for instance, and it was impacting your life to the point where you lost your job because you're afraid to drive, I'd be telling you, listen to that recording 3-4 times a day. You gotta pound that into your head. So my recommendations for listening they really depend on how severe your problem is and what you want to work on.
Now, you mentioned that your training was online and that a lot of your clients have been online. Is there any challenges that you've had to deal with because you're doing it online and you're using the internet? Is it special? Is there something more problematic because you've had to do so much online?
No, it's actually easier. I think
really?
Yeah, I think that people relax better when they're in their own house because it's kind of uncomfortable, for someone to come to a strange office that they've never been in. You're sitting in a room with a stranger. Most people find it a little bit more comfortable to do it online. They're in their own house. They can get comfortable wherever they need to be. The only problem is distractions sometimes. I tell people you need to be in a place where you're going to be undistracted for the next 60 minutes. It may not go that long, but that's what I tell people. Typically, distractions are pets and children. So I tell people to get them out of the room. As long as we have decent internet connection, I prefer people use headphones because it minimizes some of that background noise and the echoing that happens with Zoom in particular. So other than that, it's not really that different from doing it in person. I still watch you. I need your camera on when we do it on Zoom because I need to see you. I need to see that you're not falling off your chair or acting weird or having a seizure or something. There are some contraindications to being hypnotized. Severe mental illness is one of them. You just can't access the subconscious mind if you were very psychotic, if you don't know who you are to begin with. And if you're trying to hypnotize somebody who's not familiar enough with the language that you speak. Like, I could hypnotize somebody that may speak English as a second language, as long as you're very fluent. Otherwise, a Spanish-speaking person...
but that's true.
Yeah, a Spanish-speaking person that doesn't speak much English would probably want to find a hypnotist that does it in Spanish. So that's just... I only speak English, by the way.
Clearly, leaving out any details that would violate their privacy what was the most moving experience you've had with one of your clients that, it really hit you in the gut?
Yeah. Some of the most transformative work that I do, and it's one of the things I love to do the most, is to do regression work. There's different kinds of regression. There's age regression, where basically we use it to go back to a particular time, usually in your childhood. Sometimes it's when you were a teenager or whatever. Because you might have had an event that happened or something that happened around that time, but you don't exactly remember. And I had one client. She knew she had a difficult childhood. She knew that her mother was kind of abusive. She knew that her father left the family and never came back. And there was all kinds of trauma. But she didn't really remember what exactly was going on. So we took her back to the time when she was 7 years old. And through just the free-flowing state of hypnosis, we discovered that she had been abused by a family member. I mean, this is not clinical. You cannot take this to police and say that this, but lots of memories came up. People are familiar with you, stuffing these memories away, and you may not remember them. They may be so far into your subconscious mind that you don't even have a memory of them until something triggers it. And so if we do this, if people want to trigger it, if they want to know that there's caution though, I warn people, this is emotional work. You probably are going to cry.
Oh, I would imagine a lot of that.
And because I'm a life coach, I feel comfortable doing it with people because we decompress after the session and talk it out. And if anything happens in between, we can talk between sessions. This should be done by a professional, not by a stage hypnotist. But it's very powerful work. The one form of this work that I love and that I'm working on right now, I'm working on a program, is doing healing your inner child. A lot of us have a wounded inner child, something that happened to us when we were young. Happens a lot to women who are overweight that might have been bullied or made fun of when they were younger about their weight or whatever. And that inner child is so wounded that she acts out in our adult life. So what we do is we go back and we heal her. We make things right in your own subconscious mind, and it makes it easier for you to continue your life as an adult.
I think there's a lot of women who society, magazines and TV and movies, and hey, this is how you're supposed to be, and you don't match up. And it was really interesting when I taught economics. Now, and here's interesting because you have that advertising background.
Mm-hmm.
Is I was so stunned when I looked into some business stuff of how much it is a technique of advertising that companies go out of their way to make you feel like crap about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
To
Big
buy
time.
products.
Big time.
Like, oh, you are terrible because you lack X. And you lack X, but if you buy product Y, that will fix your problem.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's true or not, it doesn't, and it's like, we're going to break you down. And if you buy our product, well, that will fix you. And it's overwhelming how emotionally destructive that advertising can be.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
Advertising is a form of hypnosis. Think about it. I opened this email the other day from this company that I'm on their mailing list on purpose because I want to see the messages they're sending to people about weight loss. And in big block letters, that are covered by those blocks of colors or whatever, it says, "You want to lose weight." And it says it 4 times throughout this email. That's not
repetitive trick.
Yeah, that is not an accident. That is
No.
meant for you to see that, and it triggers your subconscious mind. I do want to lose weight. Yeah, I do.
I taught to my students about tricks that advertisers use to persuade them. And they were like, oh, no, it doesn't work. And so I would start either a slogan or a jingle.
Mm.
I would begin one, and then I would let them finish the jingle or the slogan. and there was always like a handful of kids
Oh, yeah.
who could finish them. And by the time I was done, I'm like, you tell me that advertising's not working? And they'd be like, they were so mad at me.
Yeah.
Because, we all hate somebody proving us wrong.
I know.
And I'm like, it's insidious. Like, they're not going to be, hey, over here, I'm indoctrinating you. It's not like that.
No.
It is so much more insidious. See how even back in college, you were practicing hypnosis.
I was. My whole
Roads
life.
were leading you to this path. And you didn't even know it.
I know. That's why it's so natural to me and why it's something that I love, because it does help people in ways they don't always understand how or why, but it helps the way that other things that they've tried have not.
I have agreed to let Holly do hypnosis on me. I have never, ever, ever, ever done hypnosis before. I'm kind of nervous. I am. I bet I would imagine most of your clients are kind of nervous.
They are the first time, especially if they've never experienced it before, or if they've had kind of a negative experience with it.
I'm just a control freak.
And I will tell you,
losing control.
Being a identifying control freak, you may have a little bit of a hard time, and you may be one of those analytical people that might benefit more from an analytical session, but you will still benefit. You will still be able to hear everything that I say. You are totally in control of your thoughts. You can stop whenever you want, if you need to, if something triggers you. We're doing something very simple. We're doing a demo of we call it Wash Away the Pain. It can be useful for anything where you have some chronic pain or you have a very specific pain. Say your finger hurts because you don't know why.
For the sake of time, I have uploaded the hypnosis session as another episode. For those of you who want to listen to Holly using her skills on me, you can check that out. Also, if you want to use it on yourself to help manage your pain, you can listen to it again and again. This way you can do it without having to go through a whole episode. We are going to rejoin myself and Holly after my first hypnosis session. I do feel very relaxed.
How are you? Welcome back to reality.
I feel heavy a little bit still.
Yeah.
Like the limbs feel
a
little heavy.
You could tell you were relaxed. So as I watched you, you communicated with me. If you were too relaxed, you wouldn't have nodded your head and you wouldn't have
I definitely felt totally aware the whole time.
Yeah, you do.
Like there was never any out of it. Like there wasn't any of that. Kind of like, when you've been in a bath for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
When you're trying to, you feel mellow and you're trying to get out of the bath and you're like, okay, this is going to take a minute. Hold on.
Yep.
I got to think about these moves because the body is just not normal. Mm-hmm. It's like that. It's like you got to come out of a bath.
It can be used for very different things. If somebody comes to me as a client, I will do a free 20-minute consultation so that we get to know what your issues are. And I will be honest, if I can't help you, I will tell you I can't. Or if there's somebody that does a different type of hypnosis that I think you might benefit from more, I will give you their information. To find out more, I have a brand new website. It is...
Ooh, tell us about it.
It is holistic-haven.net. So my business is Holistic Haven Hypnosis and Coaching. I'm also on Instagram at Holistic Haven Hypnosis. And I'm on Facebook at Holistic Haven Hypnosis as well. I will soon be on TikTok acting like a fool. So stay tuned for that.
I'm going to put links to all that stuff in my description. So you can find all of that easy peasy on my description of the episode. So you guys can go look there. Holly, this has been fun. This was not as scary as I thought hypnosis was going to be. And that's excellent.
I love it.
So for those of you who have been worried, oh my God, I can't, I'm the ultimate control freak. It's not so scary, folks. You're not going to cluck like a chicken. No. It's okay.
No, you actually absolutely won't. Not unless you want to. If you tell me, I would like to embody an alligator in this session. So I will give you suggestions.
If you want to
about
cluck
how
like a chicken,
yeah, you can.
Holly will help you get there.
No, not many people come to me with that request, but no, we can do whatever.
Thank you so much for joining me and having this chat and sharing your skills and your story. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much. And thank you, listener, for joining us. Remember, you can follow on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcast, and iHeartRadio. My regular episodes come out every other Thursday. If you are enjoying these podcasts, I would be delighted if you shared with your friends, left a rating on Spotify, or a review on iTunes. I hope you will come back for my next episode when I tell a tale about cornhole, a library book, and my attempts to quit quitting. I wish you well.